The next new episode of Colorado Films, the podcast. Today we have Scott Crady on the podcast. Scott is a Boulder, Colorado-based adventure photographer and content creator. His work has taken him all over the world to film and photograph projects in places like Nepal, Greenland, and the South Pacific. Shooting for brands like Red Bull and HBO Max, Scott's work focuses on storytelling in extreme environments and the human connection that comes with that. Welcome to the show, Scott. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm super excited to be here.
Me too. So to get started, what got you into film?
Yeah, let's see. So I studied making in college, but it didn't start out as filmmaking. It started out as graphic design. And I took one intro to graphic design class, and I walked out of the class midway through and was like, no, can't do it. And went and changed my major to filmmaking that day. And yeah, ever since then, man, it's just kind of been like a cool, wild ride. I'm more of a photo guy. I'd say I'm like 60 photography, 40% filmmaking. So they go hand in hand, but I definitely end up on the photo side a little more often.
Okay. And tell us about some of your experiences. Like I read, you went to South Pacific, Everest, Nepal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you were telling me earlier, you're telling me at the gym that you've shot a lot of documentaries for outdoor, hunting, hiking. Tell us about that.
Yeah, man. So, a lot of my work is like really rooted in outdoor adventure. So climbing was my first foray into the world of outdoors, and I picked that up in college as well. And I sort of entered that through ice climbing. There's a small festival there called Michigan Ice Festival, and that's where I learned how to ice climb. And eventually, after a couple of years of going, I met the organizers and they introduced me to some pro athletes. So I really started tagging along with the pro athletes and filming what they were doing. And eventually it kind of just like balloons from there. And once you establish a little bit of credibility, it's much easier to get to different places. So yeah, it all really started with ice climbing in college. And then that's what brought me to Colorado as well, is just climbing. So
okay, a lot of people here are doing that. Have you filmed a lot in Colorado? A lot of climbers in Colorado, and are there any documentaries that you've produced from the said filming of climbers?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So some of I have lots of really great friends in Colorado. Some of my friends are Sasha Julian, who we filmed a documentary on HBO Max called Here to Climb. She is an incredible athlete, a good friend of mine. And that took about 2 years. I shot a lot of the Colorado work, but that is sited all over the planet. She shot in Madagascar, she shot in Mexico, lots of different places. Wow. So I did a lot of the Colorado filming, and then I also work with a very well-known climber named Lynn Hill. She's also a really good friend of mine. So yeah, the community is awesome in Colorado. Honestly, it's like one of the best places you could be if you are a climbing filmmaker.
Okay. And where were the scenes shot in Colorado that you did shoot?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff was filmed here in Boulder. So they were working on a brand new line up in the Flatirons. I believe the line is called Queen Line. You can go and climb it. It's on Mountain Project. Okay. But yeah, so a lot of the work was filmed on Queen Line and up in Sasha Julian's home.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
What did you learn from that you didn't know prior when you were doing ice climbing and, up in Michigan? Because every day, filmmaking, you learn something all the time. So there must be something, or is there something that has kind of stuck in your head? And
yeah, man, for sure. So one of the most interesting things about this type of work is that it was really drawn out, right? So it wasn't like a big production push where you were like on for 6 months. Okay. And then off. It was when the weather is good, you go and film. And when the weather is bad, you can't go and film. And in between, you like do pickup shots here or there, you do interview work or stuff like that. And being in Boulder, Colorado, our access is like unparalleled, right? So we can go up and work on the line and come back home, and I'll go back to our other jobs or stuff like that. And we're still crafting the film and creating the work. And yeah, I mean, it took a long time. And these two climbers, Lynn Hill and Sasha, are both cutting edge female climbers. They are some of the best in the industry. And so the line is incredibly difficult. So it took them a long time to craft it. It's very well crafted, and climb it as well. So it eventually came to fruition, but yeah, it probably around 2 years of on and off style filming, and then plus time to edit and deliver and stuff too.
Nice. You know, I'm a big brute, so I'm not into the climbing, but I've heard that you're supposed to climb like a girl because like you said, they have a very tough route. So that's not knowing anything about climbing or that community. I just always remember hearing somewhere, climb like a girl, because you're not some big dudes and being able to, strength your way up. Like you have to have a lot of finesse with that. So
yeah, absolutely. I would call their climbing styles very precise and flexible. They are super incredible to watch. And honestly, it's pretty cool because they kind of flow up the wall pretty effortlessly, even on stuff that's insanely hard. You look at the wall and you're like, that's not possible. And then there they go, right up the wall.
Nice. So how do you approach shooting, short form video content, which you, I believe, done a lot of, versus still photography? And do you think about them differently from storyboarding to final edit?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I mean, you've seen this as well. We live in such an interesting time period in terms of like what digital media is sort of transitioning to. It's gone from the golden age of like 5 to 10 minute adventure sports documentaries to 30-second banger edits on like Instagram Reels or TikTok or things like that. And like it's been interesting figuring out where brands feel the money should be spent. You know what I mean? Like where they want to put their marketing dollars, right? Because back in 2015, like I was personally inspired by the North Face's like multitude of documentaries by Renan Ozturk and all those Jimmy Chin, like all those filmmakers. And they were all 13, 12-minute, really beautiful docs in Antarctica and stuff like that. And now I get paid. I used to do a lot of that work, and now I get paid to do like shorts, like YouTube shorts with just an iPhone, So it's crazy. Like my camera sometimes collects a little bit more dust than I want it to in terms of shooting stuff, because my iPhone, I bought like a second production iPhone to just shoot reels and videos on, and it's not even connected to phone service. Like it's wild, man. It's the Wild West out there. It's pretty interesting.
Nice. Could you walk us through your content creation process? I know you just mentioned you have your second iPhone specifically for that. From concept to delivery on a film and on a social campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, a film is totally different, right? So the film is a group effort. The director has the vision. They want you to execute this certain thing. If I'm directing the shoot, I have a certain vision that I want to communicate and direct as well. So it's a big pile of teamwork, right? And everybody gets together and they sort of come together and decide whether or not this thing is going to be good, that thing's going to be good, and then director obviously makes the final calls and cuts. And often I find myself in the camera operating role where I'm sort of being deployed as the Swiss Army knife to go and shoot this or that type of thing, right? Like that's what I played the role on in Here to Climb, where I was on the wall, physically climbing with the climbers and filming while they were on the wall.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And was that with the iPhone, or did you have a proper setup there?
So I actually brought 3 cameras up there. I brought a GoPro stuck on my head. I brought my iPhone production camera, and I brought a Sony rigged out FX3. So I was shooting behind the scenes of like myself shooting the documentary, because some clients want social delivery. Like it was a Red Bull HBO partner documentary. Okay. So Red Bull wanted the behind the scenes social content.
Okay.
And then HBO wanted the actual real photography, right?
Okay.
So you just kind of have a multitude of deliverables, and like being a small creative, I find it's really important to be able to play a lot of different roles, especially all at once, because you know how that goes.
Yeah. So how do you find that balance between the authenticity of what's going on, and the commercial demands of Red Bull saying, well, we only want this, and working on film related campaigns like this?
Yeah, man, that's a really good question. One of my things is just to let people be, right? Like one of the things that I try to do if I'm with a team of climbers, or I'm in some remote location with a team of people that are doing something that I don't understand, I ask questions off camera beforehand, and then I just film and let people do what they want to do, right? And that's how you get people to be authentic. That's how you get real reactions. That's how storytelling actually unfolds. And I try very little to sort of craft scenes rather than be a fly on the wall and sort of document what I'm seeing at the same time, right? That's my favorite style of shooting, is being with people who are really proficient, whether it be like scientists or pro athletes or whatever, and just letting them do their thing and letting me understand and just shoot and shoot and shoot and sort of become one with the process,
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Do you know Bruce? He used to go to Easton.
I don't know.
I'll connect you with him. He's also he was the first person I interviewed. He's doing a documentary on them all.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I'll send you all his information. You guys definitely should hook up, because I think you guys have a lot in common. That's just an aside. So what trends or movements do you see in the Colorado filmmaking, visual storytelling industry community today that you kind of developed through it?
Yeah, I mean, stylistically, there's some definitely interesting ones emerging, and specifically speaking in the action sports scenes. Like I've seen a lot of motion blur coming back into play. I don't know if you're tapped into the like running field or like action sports at all, but yeah, it seems like a lot of creators are doing like really quick whip pan transitions again, but really like a lot better than they were doing them in 2016, which is cool. And then a lot of like split diopter stuff and just like slowing down of the shutter and creating like really interesting movements. And that's what I see from my perspective. I'm pretty insulated from like fictional storytelling and like other styles of filmmaking work. Like I don't do any like Hollywood stuff or movie things at all. I'm mostly documentary and pretty much only action sports and just like doc work. So
okay. Yeah, I'm that's those are all part of Colorado Films as well. It's
totally
encompassing it. So how do you stay creative, or how do you stay creative and inspired during like a 2-year film shoot or challenge? What do you do to prepare and stay in the game?
Yeah, man, it's hard, like that's one thing I think a lot of creatives battle with, honestly, like pretty often, is how do you make money at this? Like I've been freelance for 7 years, right? So I'm only 29, so I've been freelance my entire 20s, and it's been a constant battle of like make money, stay creative. And like right now, I found a really great balance where I'm doing a lot of retainer work, and I'm finding that the stability is really nice and gives me a lot of leeway to go and do more creative things. And for me, a lot of the creativity has been cooking. Actually, I've been doing a lot of like outdoor cooking and like wild food stuff, which has been super fun. Pivoting a bit away from the action sports because it's taxing on your body, and moving into like a fishing, hunting, sort of interacting with the natural world, but in a different way. So yeah, I like to spend a lot of time outside.
Okay. Have you done any documentaries on fishing, hunting recently?
I've done a ton of short form content, and this year I'm really pushing to do something a little longer. So not yet, but it's on the docket.
Okay, well, leads us great into the next question.
Yeah.
Are there any local Colorado filmmakers or collaborators you would admire or enjoy working with?
Oh man, there's so many interesting folks around here. My mind goes to the cinematographer Joey Schuessler. His work is super incredible, and just some of my friends here in town are truly, truly inspiring people. My buddy Andy Mann, he does a lot of Nat Geo stuff, and he works with sharks and whales. That's really cool. Does a lot of like ocean conservation stuff, and yeah, he's really inspiring. And my buddy Kane DeLacy also does a lot of ocean work as well. So They're two incredible Colorado guys that you should definitely meet, actually.
Oh yeah, we'll go out. We'll have a have a
Yeah,
piece or coffee.
absolutely.
Did you work with them when you went to the South Pacific? Tell me about that adventure.
Yeah, so I like as a content creator and as a photographer and a freelance artist, you do a lot of really random stuff. You end up in a lot of really weird places. And I don't have like children, so like I do get to travel a bunch. I mean, my fiance and my dog are like my whole world, and I try to find a big balance, but I do end up traveling quite a bit. And so one of the jobs that I do reoccurringly every year is I'm brought on to a private expedition ship to essentially teach workshops around the world in storytelling and photography in like various countries, right? So the boat will drift around the world, and the wealthy people that like purchase staterooms on board to live, it's like a floating condo situation, bring
Okay.
me on board to like teach them how to do photography in an ethical and low footprint type of way in like all sorts of exotic locations, right? So
Okay.
I'll go on the boat for like a month at a time, and then we'll go to like 5 or 6 different countries, and I'll teach them how to shoot with like local people and how to capture images that feel meaningful to them and stuff like that.
Okay. What has been your favorite country that you've been to so far?
You know, ironically enough, it's pretty funny because it's been in the news a lot lately. I love Greenland,
Okay.
and I've been there twice before Donald Trump was president, uh, before all this hullabaloo, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I fell in love with the wild of Greenland, man. It is so cool. It is
Yeah.
like it's like the Wild West, but the like Arctic, you know, at the same time. Like there's like you'll go to a village and there'll be one store and you can buy hot dogs and high powered rifles right next to each other, which is really awesome, you know. Like I'm a Midwesterner and it reminds me of like the Midwest a little bit, but it's totally ragtag, totally wild. The people are awesome, and yeah, it's Greenland is just stunning. I would really recommend anyone go there.
Except Donald
But without Donald Trump, goddamn, you know?
Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Greenland's great. I loved Greenland.
All right. So when you're telling a story visually, what usually comes first for you? The mood, the subject, or the message?
Yeah. I mean, like to me, stories are made up of people, right? So when whenever I go and try and tell a story about what's happening, I almost always focus on the characters in the story, right? Less about the message. The message will come a little bit later for me. But I always interact with the players in the story first. And a lot of the work that I've done is documentary photography. So touching back on the Greenland stuff, in my latest trip to Greenland in July of 2024, I lived with a group of scientists from the UK, and they were drilling ice cores and doing like data gathering sets of underground lakes that they had discovered in between the ice sheet. Right. So, yeah, it was really cool and super remote, really fun, really far out there. They were drilling ice cores and throwing sensors down moulins, which are big holes in the ice. And you you spend time with these people and you learn them, and then eventually the characters emerge, you know. And
Okay.
it's always a balance between the people and the thing, right? And how do you make it a story that tells the tale of the science that they're doing without making it all about the people? And how do you make it like relevant, you know?
Okay.
So yeah, and the message eventually comes, you know, and whether or not the message is clear cut or they find the message later is a little bit, I mean, here or there for me, you know. I just like being there with the people and telling their stories, and you know, it's a cool spot.
Okay. Nice.
Got kind of rambly there.
No, it's just a conversation.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for coming on and doing that. How do you think short form storytelling is changing the language of film overall?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. Obviously, the virality nature is a really interesting part of storytelling these days, right? And for good or for bad. I mean, you can see it in like outrageous things that happen and they go viral, and you only get a tiny little sliver of perspective, and you don't know if that like thing is actually happening or whether or not it did happen. And I think it's a good thing. I think you can spread a message way faster. But I also think it's detrimental to like the art, quote unquote, and like how do you balance that, right? You as a filmmaker have a lot of responsibility to tell a story honestly. That's how I think about things. And how do you do that in a short way that isn't a hook within the 5 seconds or whatever, and isn't like degrading to the people in the short or anything like that, So, I mean, definitely altered the landscape, definitely creating a lot of different ways to make money. That's a really interesting aspect about it too. I mean, brands are super after short form content these days, and you can just go on LinkedIn. You can see like brands are hiring those jobs all over the place. It's pretty interesting.
Nice.
It's going to change too,
Yeah, and I know I can't remember. I think it was Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. They're on the talk show recently,
Mm-hmm.
and they're talking about the actual theater, like physically getting up and going to the theater and then sitting down and watching a movie. Do you think that is something that will, in 10 years, will be a relic of the past? Do you think there's a way forward with actual, feature length films in a theater or documentary, because I know, like certain things, Rocky Horror, Lebowski, any of the Warren Miller things that have an audience, people will go and people will sit in the theater, but it's there's that interaction still with the cinema rather than a brand new movie came out, you don't know anything, you don't know the scenes, and let's go sit and watch it. What do you think about that?
Totally.
Future.
Oh man, ironically enough, my first job ever was at a movie theater.
Okay.
So I have a deep love for movie theaters. Not cleaning the popcorn machine, that was really rough, but like, yeah, when I was like 16, I got free movies, so I'd just go and sit through all the movies in one day. Nice. It was awesome, dude. And like that's carried into my adulthood. So I mean, one of the things that I love is actually going to movies and sitting there and experiencing the movie. There's like I'm never gonna get the same effect that I got watching Dune 2 at my house.
True.
So like I think there's always gonna be a place for full length cinema. I wish that they would come up with a better business model, because charging $37 for popcorn and a drink and $8 for a ticket doesn't really feel that sustainable to me.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I wish they would come up with a better business model that would make theaters more approachable and easier for people to get into, and really just like more exciting. I think it's hard for people to get up and go to movies when they have 100,000 of them at home. So I think there will always be a place for it. I think you have to like be one of those people that really likes to go out and watch them, though.
Yeah. I think I read something that Alamo Drafthouse is also changing some of their things. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, like not for the best. Like they're phone use or something. Like
what? Dude.
I saw it as a little blurb and I didn't read it. I'm like, that's stupid. I hope they don't do that, but
right.
They might.
What are the 16-year-olds gonna do? Not yell at people with the flashlights? You got to do something,
Yeah, just, and then gives them a little bit of power, and people like a little bit of power.
People like a little bit of power.
Do you believe a story can be completed in under 60 seconds, or do you think it needs a bigger time frame to develop context? Now that we're talking about
short form stuff, yeah. I mean, like it's hard. I think you can tell micro stories in under 60 seconds for sure, right? Yeah. Like I think it's bad for your brain a little bit. It might, it like makes it pretty mushy. And as someone who's like chronically online, I find that like, I like every swipe is like a mini story, quote unquote, right? And sometimes the story is real dumb, and you're just like, oh God. But I like I think that story context really matters, and I would love a pivot back to long form stuff or longer form stuff. But I don't think that is where our society is headed, unfortunately.
Yeah. What creative projects or films are you most excited about right now?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I am headed back to California probably this spring to do some stuff in Yosemite with a brand in California. They have been really great to me and they have given me a lot of creative freedom. So I always love Yosemite and I love shooting there. I mean, the walls are super inspiring and the nature is like pretty breathtaking. So anytime I get to be outside in nature, I'm pretty jazzed, you know? But
All
that's
right.
all I'll say about that is it's like a brand shoot that allows me a lot of creative freedom that I get to do what I like, and that's the best thing about it.
All right. Is there a dream film or documentary you've always wanted to make, and what would it be about?
Yeah, totally. You know what gauchos are? Are you familiar with what gauchos are?
Gauchos? I lived in Argentina for 6.5, 7 years. So
So you know what gauchos are,
I
obviously.
know a gaucho.
Yeah, I would love to go and do a documentary or like a photo series on gaucho cooking. Like,
Okay.
like I think that Iron Cross style cooking is like so inspiring. And Argentinian cuisine is just incredibly beautiful, and it's got like a natural citrus like undertone. Like, oh, it's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I would love to go down there and hang out with some gauchos for like a month and learn how they cook, ride a bunch of horses. I think that'd be a blast.
Yeah, that's fun. I remember I can't remember the name of it. It's like Campo comes to the city, but
Hmm.
obviously Spanish, El Campo in the
Yeah.
ciudad or something. But Nueve de Julio, which is like the widest boulevard in the world,
Oh,
down
cool.
in Buenos Aires, like when the Campo came to the city, it was all Parisians, all Argentinian
Oh,
state went for
so
like
cool.
a mile, and like anywhere in the city almost you smelled the cooking of it, and it was
Oh,
amazing. Yeah, if you do that, let me know, I'll go with you.
yeah, dude, let's do it. It's been so interesting because like I love expedition work. That's like one of my fundamental reasons for doing photo and video work is expeditions.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out a way to pivot from the action sports expeditions into other style of travel. And like food is one of those things that allows you to go to places and meet people and like interact with local culture in like a really deep and rich way. Like I want to go fish like deep sea fishing in Panama because my buddy owns a taco restaurant down there. You know, like that type of stuff really gets you involved and really gets you like into the actual local life. And it feels a little better to me than flying down there to climb a wall and then flying back after you climb the wall. You know, all the climbing documents or all the climbing documentaries are all the same, man. That's
Yeah.
why I'm like moving out of them a little bit. You know,
All right. Yeah. Are you a big fan of Anthony Bourdain?
yeah, dude, I love Anthony Bourdain. Yeah,
Nice. That
yeah.
yeah, it sounded like I made it a lot of neural connections when you're talking about how food gets you in with the people and you really get to experience the culture. So
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a hunter as well. So I've like really pivoted into the world of like trying to ethically source my own ingredients and food and stuff. And it's been quite the journey, but super rewarding and really fun.
yeah, what's the funnest hunt you've been on?
Oh man. I mean, like I hunt with a traditional bow, like a long bow,
Okay.
and it's actually hanging up on the wall right there.
Yes.
And
Pivot.
yeah,
Show it. See it.
I'll grab it here.
All right.
This guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
it's much you have to be much closer than you do with a compound bow.
Okay.
And I love hunting like elk and mule deer and all sorts of stuff out here in Colorado. You get crazy experiences. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Have you ever gone antelope hunting out here?
I have never gone antelope hunting. I would love to though.
Yeah. That you need a gun for, but
I have a gun too, definitely.
Okay. I was gonna
Yep.
say those guys would be 10 miles down the road if you got close enough with that bow.
Oh yeah, totally. Their eyesight is crazy, man.
Oh yeah, it's why they're like yeah, yeah, they are, and they taste good. So
Yeah. Yeah. My dad used to shoot them growing up. We used to have antelope chili all the time.
Nice. Have you
So,
ever turned down a project because it didn't align with your values or creative goals?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there's like countless things that I've turned down. I don't even have anything on the top of my head that really stands out because I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky to be in a place in my career where I can turn things down. And like that, I attribute that to like being in the industry for a little while and just like sheer luck. But yeah, there's all sorts of like photo things and stuff that I've turned down that I've just been like, that's not for me, you know?
Okay.
But
And how do you price creative work without compromising your artistic integrity?
how do you
Kind of-
price it? Is that what you mean?
yeah. Yeah. How do you,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah. I mean, that's like the age old question, right? Like, how do you make money doing photo and video, or how do you make money selling your paintings or something like that? And my my thought process behind that, at least now, is there's like what you think you should be paid, and then there's the number that's right above that, and that's like that makes you a little uncomfortable, and that's what you should actually be paid. That's how I think about it. So like I mean it totally varies project to project, and there's like two camps of thinking about this, right? There's like frequency, low price, and then there's like high frequency, low price, and then there's like low frequency, maximum price, right? So you could
mhm,
either do a ton of like $500 shoots, like 100 $500 shoots,
yeah.
or like one or two $5,000 shoots, and those are the ones that you want to be on because
Yeah.
you get more time, more money, more resources, and a little bit more creative freedom in my feeling about that. But yeah, pricing your work is hard, and it comes with like reputation, confidence, and just like sort of navigating in a space and feeling whatever you want to price your work is like however you feel. And I think you should check industry standards and sort of conform to the industry and decide where you're going to lie in the scale of pricing.
Okay. That makes
It's
sense.
hard, man. It's real hard.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's kind of the next question. Uh, how business literate do you think you need to be a creative, a filmmaker, you
Oh
know,
man.
creative?
Extremely, actually. Like I have a business minor and a filmmaking major,
Okay.
and I wish I had a business major and a filmmaking minor, you know?
Okay.
So like I find that like running a successful business is a lot of discipline, and my whole business model is spend less than you make. And that's really hard when you get like nice checks or whatever. You're like, wow, I could like buy this really nice camera. And like I'm not a gear hound. I don't buy brand new cameras. I bought an R5 and like a nice lens, and I've been rocking that setup for like probably like 5 or 6 years at this point. And you can really get a lot done with, I mean, your phone, your camera that you have, or you can rent stuff. And I just try and spend less than I make and keep track of everything. And I mean, one of my business principles, honestly, or is honesty also, right? Being reliable, honest, and like easy to work with, right? You want people to be excited to work with you, and you want things to be like pretty seamless when you do work with people.
Okay, that makes sense. It's good.
Yeah.
Good words of wisdom. So, on that, what's the hardest lesson you've learned working professionally in film?
Oh man, track your fucking expenses. There was a long time there for a creative career where I was just happy to be there. You know, like
Okay.
like access, especially in the outdoor industry, is really difficult because you feel like sometimes you're not supposed to be there, or you're like you were invited on a project and the like rules of the work don't apply to you when you're just starting out. At least that's how I felt, right? So I was like not like I would be like asked by a client to go and shoot something in Yosemite, and they'd be like, "Can you do it for $600?" And I'm like, "Yeah, totally, I can do it for $600." When it costs like $600 to get there.
Yeah.
Like you gotta make the money, and you gotta like keep track of your expenses, because you can't run a business if you never make a profit, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a hard lesson to learn is that like everything costs money, and you have to keep track of all your stuff because taxes are due, man.
Yeah. Uncle Sam needs his cheddar.
Yes, sir.
So, what excites you most about the future of film and visual storytelling?
Yeah, totally. Man, I don't know. Like AI is having a moment, right? Like, let's talk a little bit about AI and see where that's headed. Like I think in my opinion, I feel like AI is not going to replace everything about filmmaking, because people care so much about human stories. I think there will be a shitload of like AI slop, you
Yeah.
know, and there already is, right? You can like scroll on Instagram and find AI slop all over the place. And I think like human stories will have their place and time. And like, yeah, you could generate a photo of somebody on top of a mountain, but wouldn't you rather hear the story of the climber that actually climbed the top of that mountain? You know?
True.
So that's my perspective on it. I think the future is going to be interesting. Like, I don't feel super personally threatened by AI at the moment, but I'm not in studio photography and I'm not a Hollywood voiceover actor, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's gonna be an interesting one for the next couple of years.
Yeah, it will. Um, what advice would you give to somebody trying to break into filmmaking uh, now?
Yeah, totally. Make stuff. That's that's like my advice would just be to go out and make stuff. You know, one of the things that I thought I needed to like have happen was for people to invite me places to do things, and that was, I mean, in 2015, and like I graduated college in 2019, and I had this like total misconception that you couldn't make anything unless you were like invited on a shoot with the North Face, or like invite, just go out and make stuff with your friends, you know? All the content that's being produced right now is just people going out and making stuff, and try, fail, repeat it, you know, hone the craft and hone the recipe that you've created to make your type of work. And eventually someone's going to like it. There's too many people out there for someone not to like, or for like at least one person not to like it, you know?
Yeah. Nice.
So just go out and make stuff.
Yeah, that was echoed over the weekend. I went to the Kick-Ass Film Festival. They
Nice.
had a meet and greet, and it's it's a 72-hour film festival, so you got 72 hours, get your crew
Yeah.
together, everything. And that was they're like, just make it. It doesn't matter. There was somebody
Yeah.
showed up, half the film was done. They're like, well, this is what we got. Here you go.
Yeah, dude.
And
For sure.
they're like, people, the critics, the professionals, like, yeah, this is no good. You only have half a film. But then
And you're like, yeah.
yeah, then a little while later, the guy's like, this person came up to me and said, that scene that you shot, I can't remember what it was. I think it was martial arts, actually.
Yeah.
They're like, that scene was really impactful and I really liked it. So there you go, right there. Just make it.
Just make it, man. Just make it.
So what kind of legacy do you hope your work leaves behind?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. Like, I think about this sometimes. I'm like, what do I selfishly want to say? And I don't know, like I I want to provide for my future family. I'm getting married in August,
Congrats.
and thank you. I want to provide for my future family. I want to like have a nice, long, fruitful career. I want to tell stories about people who maybe wouldn't be able to tell the stories that they want to tell themselves. Like, I just want to like eat good food. I want to like highlight
Practice
people
jiu-jitsu.
who practice jujitsu. I'm a white belt. Maybe someday I'll be a blue belt.
You'll get there.
Once I get,
They haven't picked me out yet.
once I get the blue belt, I'll quit. It'll be great.
I got your contacts. No,
That's true. You're gonna come knock on my door.
Yeah.
Drag me to open mat.
Yeah, like on what is it? What's the Will Ferrell movie with the frat house? Frank the Tank.
Oh, I don't know. I'm missing it.
Oh well, yeah, we'll just come and kidnap you. That's all we need to know. Come and kidnap
Perfect.
you, make you stay there. All right. Well, we're
That's
kind
funny.
of getting up to time. Do you have anything you want to plug? Anything that you want the people to know about that, just selfless uh proper.
Promotion.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, you can find my work on Instagram and my website, Instagram and TikTok too. I make a lot of TikToks. You can find me on there. My handles on pretty much everything is just at and then my name, Scott Crady. So yeah, I'm pretty easy to find. I try not to be that difficult to find.
All right. Oh, and before we go, tell us about how you blew up on TikTok.
Yeah, so I had one of those like overnight viral experiences that are like rare, but not that rare anymore. So a couple of years back, I think it was 2022, I posted a video of me climbing where I was uh, holding a GoPro in my mouth and sort of climbing up a mountain, essentially, like in the winter. And I posted on TikTok, and overnight, it just got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. And it was crazy, man. It was nuts. So over the course of like, I don't know, 3 days, I gained like 30,000 followers, and then it went from 30 to like 50, and yeah, it just got out of control. And
Nice.
I had to turn off notifications because my iPhone was jamming too much. Like it was like glitching. Yeah, it was crazy. It was actually crazy. So
Nice.
yeah, I think it was early success in terms of like the algorithm was pumping out like shock value content at that time,
Okay.
and something about the climbing in the mountains was like shock value. Also, people compared it to like that mission in Call of Duty when like Soap is climbing in the mountains, like left, right triggers. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it looked like.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and then I posted a few more climbing videos and just kept blowing up.
Nice.
So
Well, you deserve it, Scott.
thanks, man.
Good luck in your career, and I'll hopefully see you on the mat soon.
Dude, I'll see you on open mat next time. Don't squish me too hard.
Hey, don't choke me.
It's funny, like nobody here. No, I don't like tell anybody that I do jujitsu, which is really funny.
I tell everyone.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, it like makes me feel comfortable. I'm at a place where I don't know anybody. I'm like, yeah, I do jujitsu, and they don't know what it is, but I'm like, yeah, I do jujitsu.
Like, is that like karate? No, just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. I'm like, I'll show you karate.
Yeah, right. Come onto the mat.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Scott. Best of
man.
luck. I hope to have you back on whenever you want. Whenever you want to talk
Yeah.
about your next project, please let me know. And congratulations on the wedding and all
Thank you.
successes in life.
I'll see you at the gym, dude.
All right. Have a good one, brother.
See ya.